Hi everyone, it's Heather, and I have just started my fourth semester of respiratory therapy school. Um, fall, I have one more semester after this, and then board exams and hopefully a job. So I'm getting there. It seems a lot closer from this side of summer than it did the beginning of summer. Um, so I took my month of break and didn't do a darn thing and haven't studied at all. Just trying to review a little bit these first couple of weeks of class. Luckily, a lot of the first couple, week at least of classes is review anyway. So my schedule, I have a little notes over here. My schedule for this semester is I have cardiopulmonary science. I think it's like cardiopulmonary science 3 or something. It's a lot of hemodynamics, ventilation, ventilatory support, um, just stuff like that. So I have some classes that are short this semester. My two full classes are that one and pulmonary rehab. And actually, that one might even be a shortened one. I don't think pulmonary rehab's the whole entire semester. But that's on things like home care and nutrition and other types of rehab type support. We also have a neonatal pediatric class that is, I think, only 5 weeks, and then a 2-day seminar for ACLS, advanced cardiac life support. So that's next month that I do that one. I'm assuming that one's going to be in person. So obviously, sorry, my dog. um, so obviously, with coronavirus, we are still online only, but we are fully going back to clinicals. We did some clinicals for part of the summer. I think we had about a month in which we could get some hours. I luckily was able to schedule enough precepting days in the summer that I caught up with spring semester. So I finished all of my clinical precepting hours that I needed for spring semester. I have to still do the hours that I should have gotten this summer because this summer I was doing the hours for spring. So now it's fall and I have to do the hours for summer, as well as my regular hours for fall. So they've changed a little bit. Ordinarily, they would say we need 300 hours for our fall semester. They've changed that to 224. So 200 hours of ICU and 24 hours of neonatal peds rotation. So, excuse me, whereas previously our hours were just on regular adult floors, we need 200 hours this semester that are specifically spent in ICU. And then I have already scheduled enough precepting hours that even if I didn't, so I've got precepting hours scheduled through like the first week in October. If I didn't get any more precepting hours at all for the rest of the semester after that, I would have between that, and the clinical hours that have been scheduled for me, I would have like 320 hours. So that would at least catch me up to where I need to be. That would finish my summer hours. That would get me what I need for my fall hours. And then I would be doing my spring hours as normal. So I'm in a pretty good spot as far as catching up on my hours and getting in everything I need to for that. I don't plan on stopping once I get to October. I don't plan on just doing my clinical hours after that and not scheduling any precepting. I want to do as much as I can because I feel like that's important for my particular style of learning. So if you haven't watched other videos and you don't yet know the difference between precepting and clinicals, so clinicals are scheduled, at least in my program, our clinical hours are scheduled with a group. So my clinical group that I had in spring is no longer, I don't have that clinical group anymore. I'm in a different group now. I'm in a group of 4 people now, whereas in spring I was in a group of 3. And our clinical instructors, while we're there, are being paid by the school. So they typically do not have their own work assignment because their work is to teach us. So they will take whatever patients, They will do whatever assignment seems to be most helpful for us as students to learn. Precepting hours, we in my program, we schedule our precepting hours on our own. That's just when you find a therapist who is willing to let you walk around with them and do their schedule with them. So they are on their regular work schedule. They are being paid by the hospital they work for, and you're just shadowing them and doing whatever it is that they will allow you to do. So some of that just depends on your level of comfort, their level of comfort with you and your abilities. So I already have a bunch of precepting days scheduled, as well as the clinical days that my program has scheduled us for. So my program has scheduled my group for 200 hours through this semester. So I've already scheduled precepting for another like 120 hours, 100 hours, something like that, through the beginning of October. So I have a really busy September, but I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good semester. My group is different. It's with people that I don't know as well, but I think that it'll be fine. I mean, I'm a grown up. I can work with whoever I need to, regardless. So I'll make it work one way or another. I also have a group project that I have to do for my cardiopulmonary science class that has to be done with my clinical group. Or no, that could actually be for my clinical class. I'm not sure. But regardless, I have a group project that I'll be doing a case study with my clinical group. So that's one thing, as we're together at the hospital, we can ask our clinical instructor, we can ask other RTs, whoever, hey, do you have any interesting patients? Do you have anything that might make a good case study for our group? And then we have to do a PowerPoint and a presentation on that. And I think he said somewhere around 30 to 40 slides would be what he would consider to be appropriate for that PowerPoint. And that we'll be presenting that at the end of the semester, I believe. So that's my current semester. I have I had clinical orientation yesterday. That was just going over what clinicals are going to be like this semester. Is there any extra information? Is there anything we needed to know? And that was done by our clinical director. I had another orientation this morning for one of the hospital systems in the area that was about PPE with COVID, doffing and donning, what PPE you have to wear, how they're going to be issuing N95 masks, and what we're supposed to do with those things. And that was really quick. I think that only took 15 minutes to do that. And I had my first class on Zoom today as well, and I have my first clinical day tomorrow. So clinicals start at 6:45 in the morning is when we're scheduled, but I think tomorrow we're going in at 7:30. We're meeting our clinical instructor there at 7:30, so not quite as early, although it's downtown, so I have to park at the school, and then I'm going to be walking to the hospital where I have clinicals, so just have to allow myself extra time because it's a really big hospital and I have no idea where I'm going, but luckily someone else in my group is going to walk with me and he knows where he's going, so that will be tomorrow. What did I do today to get ready for my clinical tomorrow? I've made sure that I have my clean scrubs, my scrub cap, because I always wear a scrub cap now with COVID. I will probably continue that regardless of what is going around at any given time, because I like that it keeps my hair out of my way. My hair has gotten ridiculous since I have not been able to get to anywhere to get a haircut. My hair is super, super long and it's kind of driving me crazy, but I'm not, at this point, I'm not willing to go to a salon to get a haircut. I feel like that's not very high on my priority list of keeping myself and my family healthy. So I'm just going to deal with my long hair. I'm going to braid it, throw it back in a scrub cap while I'm at the hospital, and that's how that's going to be. So I have my scrubs and my scrub cap all set. I have my shoes are already in my car. They stay in my car. I have a plastic bin in my trunk. I do not wear my shoes home. I don't even wear the shoes that I've had on. I don't even wear them into my car. I change my shoes. I change out of my scrubs into my street clothes before I leave the hospital, change my shoes and everything. And then shower when I get home, as soon as I get home, and change clothes again. So I've talked about that in a previous video if you want to go back and watch anything more about that. I'm going to have with me my stethoscope, my pen, whiteboard marker, a notebook, like a little teeny pocket notebook fits in my pocket. I do have a white coat clipboard that I have shown on a previous video. That sometimes I've carried it with me, other times I haven't. It really just depends on what other things I have to carry. If I have papers, if I have, if I'm doing an assignment with someone and I've got their sheets with all their, different hospitals do things different ways. So I'm not sure if it'll be helpful for me at this hospital that we're going to, but sometimes you have a lot of papers to carry. I have found it to be helpful when I'm at a place like that, as long as I'm wearing scrubs that can fit that white coat clipboard. The scrubs I have now fit it. The ones that I had previously, and I think I have one set of them that I just bought. The pocket in the cargo pocket in the pants was not big enough to fit that white coat clipboard. So I don't use it when I'm wearing those scrubs, but what else? I have my lapel watch that I pin on because I don't like wearing a wristwatch, and we're not supposed to use our phones when we're working as students. I have my pulse ox. I always have my pulse ox with me, although in an ICU rotation is probably not going to be as helpful because if you're in an ICU, the chances are people are already on monitors, so you don't need a pulse ox in that case, but I still have it with me just in case. What else do I carry? My badge. That's pretty much it, I think, that I have on my person. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I'm going to actually have with me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I take to the hospital. I think that's about it. So I think I'm all set for tomorrow. I bring my lunch. I always pack my lunch the day before so that I don't have to spend money to buy lunch while I'm out. I'll probably buy coffee in the morning though, because I'll be honest, if I'm getting there at I think tomorrow I have to get there at 6:45. So I'll probably leave my house at around 6 to give myself time to stop for coffee, and it's about a half-hour drive for me. So that's about it. If you started school this week, let me know. Let me know how it's going, where you're at in your schooling. If this is your first semester and you've just started your program, congratulations on starting. I hope that you have a really awesome semester. And if you have any questions about anything, just drop me a comment below. See you later.